Yeah, yeah, la, 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 la. Yeah,
Hey y'all, welcome back to Our New Image. I am your Oracle Jewel of the Dawn, back with the reading finally. I just wanted to say, like, if God gives you a word, you just need to be obedient. Back in February, I attempted to do the readings, even though I was instructed not to do them until the spring began, because of the energy that I was in, the energy that I was feeling towards, I'm not going to say the viewers in total, because it wasn't everybody, but just people being so reliant upon readings. And I was just told to just let that energy die down before I do readings. And I tried to force it where it didn't fit, and it was just completely off. And I changed the reading and everything because I was just in a messed up energy. And so, I had to humble myself and be obedient. So I've been, doing work on myself, and I'm I'm being allowed to do a reading about a current event that's going on right now. We all know about it, the coronavirus. And that's why I'm here today. So I hope y'all don't mind giving me a little bit of y'all time. I'm gonna light me up an incense, and prayerfully, because of the way I got the camera set up, it don't smoke the camera lens out. It is like 3 o'clock in the morning right now. So I am like in my bed clothes, and although I wanted to do this reading, like I didn't know when I was gonna do it. I just knew that I wanted to look into it. And tonight, like, I am just up, and like my mind and my spirit was just searching for something to do, or my physical was searching for something to do, and my mind and my spirit was kind of like, don't you want to go, look into the cards or something? And of course, I'm like, I'm always down. So here I am. I have prayed over the cards. I did a very long prayer over these cards today, for a few reasons, just because I was in that kind of mood, and I feel like we as a people, the people of the world, needed it. So I used 3 different decks today. In the center card here, we have what's the name of this deck again? Work Your Light Oracle deck. Then we have, your energy oracle cards, and then you have your tarot cards. So let's get into it. I started off the reading with the energy oracle cards, and I started at the head of the read, and I was asking Father, Mother, God, what is the plot or the scheme behind the coronavirus? And I got the first chakra card in the reverse and the victory in reverse. So that led me to, first of all, know the first chakra, the root chakra, that is about your foundation, you being grounded, stability. When it's in the reverse, your first chakra is at a balance. You're not in a stable place. You're not grounded. So I feel like this and this, of course, go hand in hand, because when people are not grounded, they can't win. And I'm not saying it's not possible to win when you're not grounded in or stable, but let's say, there's an old cliche that talks about building your house on rock versus in a swamp or on quicksand. When storms come, which when I was shuffling the deck, I did see the storm warning card. That was the first card that I saw, actually. the house that's built on a solid foundation is the one that's going to most likely stand the test of that storm. So if you've got the people in a frenzy and they're unbalanced, they're ungrounded, it's very hard for them to be victorious. So after, of course, I dealt all the rest of the cards out, I pulled the clarifiers out. But since we're talking about it, I'm just going to go along with the cards as they are. So clarifying that first chakra card in the reverse, we have the Four of Swords in the reverse. So Four of Swords in this respect to me is talking about peace, about tranquility. And the Lover's card in the reverse is talking about the opposite of union, disunion. So these cards to me, we're talking about civil disorder, no unity, no groundedness, no stability, no peace, not being in a sound mind, and being in a frenzy is what I'm hearing right now. So this here is talking about the civil disorder. That is the agenda. Civil disorder, being in a frenzy, lack of stability, no victory, no union within the people. And as you can see with the news reports, you got people not showing brotherly, sisterly love, fighting over toilet tissue and whatever else. People in a frenzy, not being at rest, not being at peace. People's stability is being uprooted. People aren't going to be able to go to work. Kids aren't going to be able to go to school. And even our economy is failing. Like it's just all put in the world. But I can only speak for America because I can't speak for other countries. Like we're all in just a bad place right now. A place of victory being in the reverse. So moving forward, I asked for these cards in this position to answer the question of what do we need to leave behind in order to protect our future? And I got the man holding a coin in the reverse. So this to me is not talking about being broke or not having money, but it's talking about that green-eyed demon. Is greed the green? No, that's jealousy. My bad. Greed. Leaving greed, and I hate to say the word, but I just got it intuitively, so I got to say it. That capitalistic mindset of money, money, money. Money rules everything. Cream rules, money, cash rules everything around me. Like that type of mentality, we got to leave that alone because that, and I also, pause, this card, I also got an intuitive message of business deals. Business deals gone bad on purpose. Bad business. But greed. We have to leave that alone in order to protect our future. Clarifying that we have the King of Wands here because greed leads people to do things that they shouldn't do. And we have to leave that behind. And also, I got from this man holding a coin card in the reverse, stop relying on money so much because, for instance, in America, the American dollar isn't backed up by any natural resource. So you're relying on a piece of paper that doesn't mean anything. It holds no weight besides what you think in your mind. So we got to get back to being more active. As you can see, he has a wooden staff here that has leaves growing from it. We have to get back to being an agricultural people and relying on the seeds that we plant and attending to that seed and nurturing it and the harvest that it reaps to be able to take care of ourselves. We have to stop being so money oriented and get back to nature and to tending to the land, living off the land. moving along. To the right of the read, the question that I asked was, what lessons do we need to learn now for protection in our future? And I have the rest and rejuvenation card in the reverse. So we need to take more time in prayer and meditation and being in a loving spirit and being in love with God. Giving offering to God, offering of ourselves to God, and letting God fill our cup versus being greedy. Offer your cup up to God and let God fill it up in prayer and in meditation. God is the source. So get it from God. Following along the yellow brick road. The question that I asked for the 2 cards at the bottom, well, this morning 2 cards, but y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm sleepy. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. We got here, the question was, is the coronavirus, the pandemic that the media would have us to believe? And I'm not saying that it's not spreading and people aren't getting sick. That's not what I'm saying. But coronavirus is an old virus. It's not new. Symptoms are quite similar to the flu. People die from the flu. People die from pneumonia. People die from coronavirus. So my question was, is it as serious as they would have us to believe, to have everybody be in a frenzy to, for instance, where I live, tomorrow they're starting a curfew. You can't be out past 11 p.m. Is it that serious? Is it that serious to have all the schools and universities within the state that I live in closed till the end of the month? You know, people's jobs are telling them not to come in. Some jobs are allowing people to work from home, but someone really close to me, she drives for public transportation, and they're cutting down on the routes. So it's like, oh, go get unemployment benefits, but it's like unemployment benefits, that's not even gonna pay my bill. Like, she's taking a pay cut prayerfully until the end of the month, but until further notice, she's taking a pay cut that's like 3/4 of what her normal pay rate would be. So it's serious out here. But I want to know, is all of this justified? So I got the man holding a heart card in the reverse. And then I have the 3rd chakra card in the reverse. And to me, those cards read, no, that it's not that serious. You got your powers that be and your media broadcasting to the people. If you can see this card here, broadcasting to the people, telling them this is what's going on. You need to do this. You need to do that. These are the laws that's being enacted right now for the people, but it's not coming from a place of love. Because if you remember from up here, the goal and the scheme of things was to have the people in a frenzy and to create civil unrest. So that's one aspect of it. And then the 3rd chakra in the reverse is telling people it's not that serious and you're not trusting your gut instinct, but you are instead in a 9 of Swords energy, stress and anxiety, and the Ace of Swords doing the most. And at the same time, this card is double fold because it's like, this is all like a trick. That's the word that I got when these 2 cards out. I was like, it's a trick. Like this, you could look at this right here and think of it as a magic wand. This is being manifested by the powers that be. You see how he has this wand here? A wand here. This person has a scepter, but this person is dictating to others and giving orders. Like, this is all a trick. This is all a grand scheme. And people aren't trusting their gut instinct, but they're instead being in an anxious state and worried and stressed. And that's not going to be beneficial, especially if it were this serious. If it were this serious, this energy is not going to benefit you. So, even if it were that serious, you got to stop stressing and do something. But to me, these cards are saying that it's not that serious. And that's what I was feeling. I just told somebody that today, like, in my heart of heart, I do not feel like this is that serious. You got stuff all over social media where people are talking about disinfectant spray all the time, telling people and suggesting that people wash their hands, all of this stuff. Everybody wearing face masks everywhere. Yeah, if you're in the public, because when I got sick maybe a month and a half ago, I was wearing masks. I was wearing a medicated mask to, number one, prevent me from spreading germs everywhere, and number two, to prevent me from breathing in even more germs when I was already in a vulnerable state. Because when the semester started for me, it was just like germs was everywhere. So I just was like, I could smell the germs, and I could smell germs anywhere that I am. If there's germs there, I can smell them. I don't know what that is. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I know I'm going to get sick. And I did get sick, and I had flu-like symptoms, and it wasn't the flu. So, I get it, but this is things that you're supposed to be doing anyway. You're supposed to be washing your hands. You're supposed to not be touching your face after you done been touching everything all in the public. You should take your shoes off when you come in the house and not bring all of those germs of the world all through your house. Like, it's just common sense to me. So I don't know. I hope that's not getting too foggy. Okay. So the last card up was from the Work Your Light Oracle deck. And I was asking Father, Mother, God, what is the purpose? Because it is said that Father, Mother, God does not even allow a seed to produce fruit, doesn't allow a bud of a flower to blossom without permission. So what is the purpose of this pandemic? Why is it being allowed? And the card I got was boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? I get a few messages from this card. Number one, all that touching. We just talked about washing hands and things like that. Get people back to being hygienic, better hygiene, better cleanliness. Another purpose that I saw was protecting your energy. As you can see, she has her hands out. She's open, but at the same time, she's closed off because she's getting her chakras aligned. If you continue to let people dictate to you what's going on, people do too much, or you doing too much to get a coin, being in a frenzy, really looking for stability, but it's not there. Not being in union and showing love to your brothers, not praying, not meditating, not allowing God to be the source and fill your cup, being stressed. These things can disalign your chakras and cloud your chakras. You have to protect your energy. You have to protect your energy. And another thing, just on a political note, like with this business here, the powers that be energy here, this energy here, we are the people. And if you American, you know what that means. And I'm being told to stop. Don't say nothing else about that. If you follow, you follow. If you don't, it's not for you. But as you can see from the graphic in this picture, can y'all see that? She has a crown on her head. This is not gender exclusive, this person in this photo. We are the kings and queens. We the people are. So establish boundaries. Because if God is your source, can no man do, can't no man say what you don't allow. Protect your energy and set boundaries. Where you're going to go, what you're going to do, what you're going to say, how much bullshit are you going to take. I hope that y'all can dig that, because don't let that fly over y'all head. It's going to come a time where people are going to have to put up and shut up. Where do you really stand? Can people have their way with you? Can people, what's the word I'm looking for? Can people force their will upon you? Or are you grounded and rooted and aligned and allowing God to be your source and getting back to Mother Nature and tending to the land, showing brotherly love, being of sound mind, being grounded and being stable and being victorious, not stressing out, following your gut instinct, only following the words of people who actually can love you and can show you that. People in higher positions, so-called higher positions than yourself, not being greedy. Because when it comes down to it, if this is the plot and the scheme and people have their way and you have to only rely upon the land, you're not going to be able to be greedy. You're going to have to do more and stress less. You ain't going to have time to stress. You're going to have to rely on God. Unless you're a sheep. But I'm going to end it right there. This is your Oracle Jeweler, the Dawn, signing out. Sending you guys love, kisses, and blessings. And until we meet again, ciao, Bella. Mwah. Later.